Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Witching Hour. Let's see if we've got anybody in the house. So say hello if you're there and you can see me. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get the comments on YouTube, but we can go back at a later date and check through them. So if you have got any questions or queries, please pop them in the comments on the YouTube and I'll go back and double check that for you. So I can see the Crafty Witches are in. Let's see if we've got anybody else. Right, I think we're just connecting to all of the bits and bobs. So pop a hi in if you can see me and hear me. Right, and we'll get straight on with what we're looking at this evening. Now, as you know, before I start off every live, I like to just highlight our Coven Club membership, and the reason being behind that is because obviously there is extra savings to have if you purchase what we've got on offer this evening. So I'll just pop that onto the screen, and you can see there we've got our we haven't at the minute. We've got our Coven Club membership. So we have, hi Elizabeth, thanks for joining. We have our Coven Club membership. So we have 3 levels. We have the classic first class level, which is £40. It gets you a £5 digital discount voucher every month, and 25% off all the digital products on the website. That automatically applies to your basket when you pop in your items in, that 25%. So stay tuned, because I may have another discount code for you this evening. We've then got the classic membership, which is the silver membership, and that's for £25. Now they're all the same. You get everybody gets the same. So it's all £5 digital discount voucher, 25% off newsletters, and the occasional freebie as well. The only difference is the difference in price is because of how many months you're a member. So the £40 obviously is a 12-month membership. The £25 is a 6-month membership. And if you want to just give us a go, have a little taste of what, and the taster one is £10. And obviously today is the 19th of May. So if you join today for the £10, you're going to get a £5 voucher digital to spend on the website in May. You'll also get one in June, so that's your £10 back essentially, but you'll also get your £25% off. So many savings to be had with our Coven Club membership. I like to mention that first, because obviously when we're going through the kits, if you haven't joined and you want those extra savings this evening, if you pop over to the website and you'll see our Coven Club memberships. I'm sure Kevin will share the kits as well, share the links in the live as well, so that you can actually get to it and purchase if you like. Now let's get back to the main screen. So what are we here for? Let's see who's in first. So we've got Linda's in. Boo to you. Sheila's in. Hi Sheila. Hubble Bubble Halliwell. Have we got anybody else at the moment? I can't see any more comments yet, but let's see. We'll see what keeps going on. But we'll crack on with what we're going to present this evening. So, you know, if you've been watching me on Hobby Maker and you've watched me on the craft store and on these lives, you'll know that my favourite types of collections that we do are our mini collections, our 3 for 2s. There's so much content in them, and they're such a fantastic price as well. And you know, if you're into your digital crafting in a big way, like, I mean, I love digital crafting. It offers so many opportunities. You've got I've been watching Highlight Crafts recently, and they've got so many things that you can print on. And this morning they printed onto holographic sticker. I was just blown away. It was amazing. So, you know, something that will probably jump into my basket at some point. But we're here to talk about our digital kits. So if I just pop on RL to tell you what they are this evening. So we've got the Hummingbird, the Hummingbirds Galore digital kit. We've got the Ship Ahoy digital kit, and we've also got the Spectacular Stitches digital kit. All those 3 for £6.99. Now, I did say there's a discount. So if you're in the Coven Club, you're going to get an extra 25% off that. However, that will automatically be applied at checkout, but you've also got the section where you can redeem your coupon. So the coupon to redeem, so if you're all there and ready and you've got this, is TCS, capital T, capital C, capital S, 11, and that will give you a further 10% off from now up until the 25th of May at midnight. So how fantastic is that? And that's a thank you to everybody, because obviously today Sheila and myself should have been on the craft store, and the Gremlins had obviously got in, and the craft store, well, the whole area where the craft store is, needed to have outreaching for the internet, so it was something that was a work in progress. However, myself and Linda will be back on the craft store next Tuesday, so you're not going to miss out on what me and Sheila are going to bring, because we'll be bringing that next Tuesday to the craft store. So this is our discount that we were going to use today for the craft store, but we're giving it to you as a special thank you for supporting us throughout. So thanks a lot. So it's capital T, capital C, capital S, and 11, and that'll get you an extra 10% off. Right, okay, so you can see we've got the 3 collections. The first collection I'm going to go and look at, I'm going to pop over to the computer. The first collection I'm going to look at is Ship Ahoy, and that's the reason I'm going in a specific order today as to what I've done with my demos for this evening. So this demo that I'm going to do when we've looked through the kit is quite a simple one to do, but it incorporates a bit of resizing, but we'll talk through that as we go through the demo. But we'll look at the Ship Ahoy, so just bear with. Okay, let me... Okay, so we're at the computer and we've got our Ship Ahoy kit. So as always, when you've downloaded it and you've got your lovely, beautiful landing page here, which tells you what the kit is, click enter, and it will bring you up with the first 4 pages of what's in the collection. Now, as you're aware, or if you're not aware, in our mini collections, there's 12 printable pages. You get 2 pages of toppers. You get a insert page, which can also be used on the outside of a card, and you've also got a page of sentiments. If I click over to the next, you've got 4 beautiful decorative papers, and I always say this, and as you all know, when I first get a kit, the first place I go is the decorative papers, because I'm just always amazed at what our Becky's done with the artwork and what she's pulled from the artwork to actually deliver in our decorative paper. So if I just click on this one, because this one, as soon as I saw it, even though it wasn't, it reminded me of a bedspread from the 70s. I mean, it just had that little bit of a look about it. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, like in its entirety. So if I just give you the height, so you can see it all as an A4. Now, you, as always I say, you can print that off borderless on A4 or A3. You could have a beautiful wrapping paper there. You could, you can use it in your mats and layers and stuff. And we'll look back at the toppers just to show you how Becky has incorporated that one into some of our toppers. You've then got some, it's a sea one, so we've got some starfish. I mean, how fabulous is that? Such a beautiful beautiful design. And then we've got, let's just go to height, and then you can see that you've got the full page worth of starfishes as well. So that's quite a cool one to have as well in your collection. And again, I've always said, if you've got additional kits that you've bought previously, whether they be digital or hardware like dies and stuff, if you've got I think I've got one somewhere, like, to do with the lighthouse and stuff, all of these papers would go wonderfully with those. You'd be able to incorporate your hardware into using them. Click next. You also get 2 essential papers, and again, they're always different. So let's see what Becky's got here. She's given us some dots, and then she's also given us some, and again, this, it's like a tyre track almost, isn't it? But that's what I say, a tyre track. But then, I mean, I suppose it could look like a weave, like a corn or something, a weave, like, but it's in a colour that will complement the main collection. And then you've also got your solid colours in a sort of a navy type blue, like sort of a bit lighter than a navy, and then a nice pastel pink. So let's just go back, and I just wanted to show you with the toppers what Becky's done. So you obviously, the card I'm going to make, I've used the set of 6 toppers, and I've resized. But with this one, you can see Becky has already made you sort of a, you could add it to a 4x4 or a 5x5 card. She's already added the toppers with some decorative paper. So really, you could print this page, cut out the 4 toppers, add the sentiments, and perhaps if you wanted to use a bit of the solid colour paper as well, print some of that off. But I mean, you could put them on a 4x4. You could even put them on a 6x4 card. These would fit perfectly, just printed as they are. But don't forget, because we're in Adobe Reader, we can resize everything that we want. So just quickly looking at the ones I'm going to use in this next demo, you'll see that they've got like scenes almost here, and I'm gonna go to my overhead camera in a second and show you, because I've actually printed it all out to show you rather than resizing. But you can see you've got elements, and I looked at this and I thought I can pull elements from it. So let me just close that one down, go to exit, and then I can just get the next one ready. Pop up, so oops, pop over to the overhead. I'll just pop my banner in again, and there's our website address, www.thecraftywitches.co.uk, and this is the card I'm going to make. And I wanted to show you first, as the on the overhead as it is, it's a 7x7 card. Well, when I show you the toppers, you'll see that the toppers are about a 4x4, so you can see I've resized this. So I'll just bring my bits and pieces in to show you. Let me just grab those there. So I always print off what I call my recipe to show you, and here it is. So I've printed those toppers off, so you can see I've printed this top one up here, and I've printed the castle here, and I'll just show you what I've done. So I've resized them. And I've also printed a fish off on this one as well. So the 3 toppers I've used. This is the castle at 175%, and that's going to form the topper of my 7x7 card. And this is what, it's a really simple card, this is, to get us started. I then printed at 150% the Little Mermaid with the octopus or octopi or whatever, and then I did the little fish, and I've done that fish. I've pulled it out of the picture and I've resized it to 200%. I know that looks mad because it still looks really tiny, but it started life as this tiny little fish up here. Okay, so those are the elements that I'm using in the demonstration. So I'll just pop that over to the back and just say, lovely kit. I love anything sea related, living on the coast. Oh, and me, Elizabeth. Do you know? And as well, I mean, this one's a little girly card, but there's so many elements in this kit that you can use for gents cards if you like as well. And again, being by the sea, they'd be lovely thank you cards, or nice to, you know, thinking of you cards, you know, like they'd fit really well with that. Hi Kim, nice you could join us. Don't worry, you haven't missed much. We're just getting to the first demo. Right, okay, so it's a 7x7 card blank that I'm using, and then I've just cut, as you're probably aware, I always go 1/4 of an inch in on each card, on each mat and layer. So I'll just pop my first layer on, and I'm just going to put some of my all-purpose glue, and that's just because, you know, it's got wiggle room, and when it's dry, it dries really firm. So let's just pop that on. Let's see if you just line that up. Lovely. So we've got our first layer, and it's that beautiful pastely pink. Well, it's like I used to call it salmony pink, I suppose. Is a word that I've seen before as well. Like, you know, but it's such a lovely pastel colour, and it sort of fits really well, because obviously I'm pulling out the colours from the turrets and the starfish and everything. So it's all mixing and matching, and that's what the girls do when they're designing the kits and they're picking the artwork. As you know, Linda always says it mix, matches and harmonises. Right, let me just bring that over and then just pop that in the centre. I hope it's in the centre. It's the centre of it is, but it's got all my sticky pads on now, so never mind. We're then going to put the top layer on, and like I said, this I did at was it 175%, and then I've just trimmed it down to be 5 1/4. Is it? Yeah, 5 1/4. Yeah, so that it fits beautifully in that middle bit there. So we've got our, and this is what I like as well. Sometimes, you know, with the Crafty Witches and stuff, you can look at, like, and we're gonna, you know, when we do some of the demos further on, papers, whether you use them in their entirety as a topper or you create that is the main focal point of the card, it's amazing. And again, you probably wouldn't get a topper that size if you were buying a paper pad, so you would actually, you'd be you know, we could probably have that ready for an 8x8 card, right down to a 6x6, 5x5. We can resize that as many times as we like. Now, as I said, it was a quick little card to do, because I've already prepared my frippery, as Linda calls it, to go on. And I've done this little mermaid, and again, you know, I thought she could sit right in front of the gate to the castle, and a beautiful underwater castle. And you know, because it's this, I used the 160, the Paper Emporium 160 GSM. You can see it's really pliable. Like, you know, I can bend and stretch, so I can make her look like she is actually swimming in the sea. And then I've got my little octopus, and I can put him anywhere I like, really, but I think I'll just pop him on this one right by the side of the castle. And then there's that fish that I resized to 200%. I mean, how amazing is that? Like just, you couldn't do that. And I know people will say when they see the paper that I'd printed it on, what a waste. One, I've saved on my ink because that's the only element that I want, but I have chopped all that paper up, and I do other projects as well, and I use them in my mats and layers and in my stamping and stuff like that. So it doesn't go to waste, but it just means I can have the image that I want. So, and we'll just pop that little fishy there. And then I've just got a little sentiment that says especially for you, and this is especially for you all this evening for joining me. Thank you. It's a lovely to have you here with us. And here you go. And then all I did on my demo, my sample one I made, I just added some gems, and I'm just going to pop a few gems on. And again, that's the only thing out of the set that I've got that's different, is I've added the gems. Everything else I've used that's available for you to print out on your digital kit. And I mean, that's what is fantastic about digital crafting, because I you know, I could be doing this at midnight tonight if I wanted to. I haven't got to wait for it to come. I can print it off and it's there to go. So there you go, my first project, and that's from the Ship Ahoy collection. And as we've gone through, so you'll see there's more to come with the next lot. Right, let's go back to the beginning. Oh, here we go. We've got it back. Lovely. Okay, so that's one of the first collections that we've got. Let's see who else we've got in at the moment. Oh, Kim, we've said hello, haven't we? Right. Right. Has anybody got any of their favourite collections that we've had so far? Like, of I mean, I think every time Becky sends me another download, it's my new favourite. So I struggle. And I have got what Hells used to call a terrapin, which is a terabyte block, which I've saved all of my Crafty Witchy stuff on, which is amazing. Right, let's move on to the next one then. Our next collection. And our next collection, if I just jump over to the computer, and we'll just remove those. And it's the Hummingbird Galore. Now this is absolutely beautiful, this collection. It's so bright, so summery. It's just delicious, I think is a word you could call it, if you like. It reminds me of mangoes and tropical fruit. It's just so vibrant. As always, it's got the 12 downloadable pages in, and you've got some what I call ready-made cards. So it's just click, print, and craft. And then there's some bits which I'm going to show you what I've done with the toppers. And you've got, I mean, these absolutely gorgeous hummingbirds. I mean, this artwork is absolutely stunning. It always amazes me where they find it from. Where all this artwork comes from, because the person that's done it is so talented, but and then our Becky to create it into these digital paper packs is amazing. So you've got, on this one, you've got 4 toppers and you've got 4 little sentiments. So that one's got extra sentiments on. Like I said, a ready-made card, if you like. You've got let's get the height. You've got sort of an A5 card there, perhaps a DL, and you've got 3 sentiments on that. So as well as your page of sentiments on this collection, we're giving you a few extra sentiments as well, if you like. Let's click out of that. And like I said, you've got your insert and your sentiment pages. Click over, and then you've got these beautiful decorative papers. And this, I mean, I saw this one, this is my absolute favourite. It's so beautiful. So this is where I suppose I got my mango feeling from, mango and pineapple. I thought when I was looking at this one, they are gorgeous colours, Elizabeth, absolutely. And I mean, this one, I was thinking, when you've made your card, if you've got an A3 printer and you print on, say, perhaps a 100 GSM maybe paper, you'd have a beautiful wrapping paper to go with your card. And also, like, if you've got if you print it on 250 GSM, you could make a beautiful tag to go with it as well. I mean, which is super cool. At some point during the lives, we will do some papers and look at some of the tags and that we can do as well. You've then got this one and with the hummingbirds on as well. I mean, look at that. That is sensational. I mean, Becky's so talented. I always say the same thing, but she definitely is so talented. Loving the hummingbird colours, very vibrant. They are, Kim, absolutely fabulous. I love them. Right, let's go. And then next, again, you've got those 2 essential papers and the 2 solid colour papers, which they all mix, match and harmonise together so fabulously. But I mean, this one, again, this is what I was saying, they're so different. So when you get in your printing your downloads with these essential papers, Becky tries to give us some different designs, but with the colours that mix, match and harmonise with the collection already. So let's just get that to a height. So you have got the A4, and I mean, it does look smaller, but it's beautiful when printed out. And then you just go back, and that takes you to the beginning. Now, I always bring this up as well, and I'll do it on the second collection today, but I've always say follow the cauldron, so the exit will take you back to where you need to be. So if I click on the more information up here, this has got this has got everything you need to know. This will take you to our website. It will take you to specific parts of our website, so how-to guides, how to contact us, leave us feedback, terms and conditions, frequently asked questions, and then you've just got that little back bubble that's jumping out the cauldron that will take us back to the front page. But again, just on that, just to go over our angel policy, we're happy for you to make and sell a finished product, as many as you like, for your personal gain or for charity. All we ask is that you don't do is print and sell the papers individually. It has to be a finished article. So anything that you make and you finished, we're happy for you to sell until your heart's content. Right, if we pop back now to the overhead and we'll look back at the collection. So this is the card we're going to make, and I've based this one. We have our topper collections from our paper charms. So the last live I did, I think it was last Monday, and I did the paper charm butterflies toppers. So I've sort of used that format to create this card, if you like. And but what I've done is I've cut into the and decoupaged it up, if you like, but I've also cut all the feathers individually to make it even more realistic, and we're going to show you how that's done now. And you can see I've used some of the flowers as well. So I'll get my recipe that I always have to show you, and this card is a 6x6 card, and I've used this topper here, and I've just trimmed it down within the line. And I just thought this hummingbird was absolutely stunning, and he was dancing around to me when I was looking at it. I've then printed it 3 times so that I could cut him out. And again, if this was in a paper pack form, I would never have got. I would have probably got 3, but I could have probably only ever made 1 card. You'll see by the end of the I finish this demo, I'll have made 2 cards. So that's 6 times I've printed. Well, it's 7 times actually with this sheet, but 6 times I've printed the hummingbird out so that I could do my decoupage. Then I've picked this beautiful, and everybody knows my favourite colour's blue. So I've picked this beautiful blue decorative paper with these beautiful sort of tropical flowers in, and I just thought it really matched the image I was looking for. And then there's my solid coloured paper. Right, let's just move on to the card. So I've had an update just about half an hour ago on my on my internet security, so I think that's why all those little bits and bobs keep popping up. Not to worry. So right, let's start with it. So it's a 6x6 card, 6x6 card blank that I'm using, and then I've got my tropical, and this is what I'm saying. If you've watched our previous live from a week ago, you'll see that our butterfly topper kits come with a decorative paper, a solid colour paper, the topper, and this is all I've done. I've just taken a piece of the decorative paper and the topper to create my own version of that kit that we sell. So it's just making it simple, stupid, as Linda would say, and that's for me really, so I can show you as many different ways of using our kits as possible. I'm just going to pop that in the centre of that card. Hopefully, it's hard when you know when you're not standing. I'm not standing up as well, guys, because I had cramp on Friday night, and it's really put my sciatic nerve out. So I have struggled around this weekend, but hey ho, it's getting better. But Linda said I was all right to sit down. Bless her. So here we go. So I've already put my foam pads on, and I'm just taking the backs off. And again, these are great. I know Linda gets her pads from somewhere. I can't remember the shop, but I have mine from Chloe's Creative Cards, and they are super fab and really easy to use as well. If I just pop that in the middle, okay, and then I'll get my 3D glue gel. Now, I use Collal, but you can, all the 3D glue gels out there are fabulous. Pin Flare, and I think Crafts too as well. I think they've got a glue gel, so any of those are fine. So what you can see is I've cut the first one out, and as you can see, like I said, I've cut the feathers so they are, I can sort of manipulate them, like, you know. And again, it's that 160 GSM card I've printed on that's allowing me to do that, because the thicker the card that you've printed on, the harder it is for it to be more malleable, if that's the right word to use. But with the 160, it just really works. And then I'm just going to pop some glue gel on into the hummingbird's back and just below its tail. I've also want to just put a little bit of glue on his beak, and I'll tell you why. Because I want the beak to sort of stay on the page, if that makes sense, but I want the hummingbird to be lifted up. So you can see straight away I've made that one, and that's just the first layer. Now I wanted a second layer, which I've just cut, and I've just took the tail off and just using a little bit of sort of I quite liked these feathers here to have a bit more depth on them as well. And again, I'm just with the wings, just messing really with it, and then just the glue again on the beak, because I want the beak to stay on the card. And then I'll just pop some glue gel on our little hummingbird on the back, and then just pop him, or her, sorry, you never know. Pop, and there you can see that he's now jumping out the card. I would normally, just so that you can see, I mean, I know it looks a bit sticky on that beak, but I would normally use a tacky glue, but I've left it in my bag like a fool. So I've used my all-purpose, but I would normally use a tacky glue with my precision glue press with that, because it's easier to stick down. And then I cut some of those flowers, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop my sentiment on first, and now it covers a little bit up, and it's sending hugs, because I think this is what this little bird's doing. But you can then, again, you can manipulate the flowers if you like, just taking a little bit of glue gel to the back and just adding extra depth and dimension around the card. You know, it's a really because we've got all these bits and pieces available to us within the collection. You know, you don't have to, I mean, you can see I haven't used any gemstones or anything on this, and that's because our collections do fit just to do it themselves, really. Like, you know, you don't need to have loads of sparkly stuff on it. You could just make your embellishments with the kit if you like. Let's just pop another one there, and then we've got our last one, and we'll just pop that one on the end of the sentiment, and there you go. I've used the flowers in a slightly different way to the first card, but you can see identical cards, and that's like printing. So I've printed that 13 times, the topper. No, sorry, six. I printed it 6 times to make the 2 cards. That's right. And now, I mean, how fabulous would they look on your craft stand, or how grateful would you be to receive one? Right, let's just pop those to one side. Have we got any questions? Let's go back. Have we got any questions? Let's say gorgeous colours, loving the hummingbird colours. Thank you, Kim. Lovely. Right, okay. So let's get over and look at the third and final kit in this trio. And we'll pop back over to the computer. And this one, let's just take that off and that. Okay, this one is the Spectacular Stitches kit. Now, again, this one I've done slightly differently, and this is just to show you there are different ways of using the kits as well, but we're going to have a little look through what the collection is. So if I just click on enter here, so again, different topper styles with this one as well. So we've got this beautiful one here that's got the tailor's dummy, if you like, and the sewing machine. Oh dear. Tailor's dummy and sewing machine, and that gives you an 8x8 card topper, so you can cut all that out. And I mean, again, you could cut it out and have it flat and just put it flat onto a card, but I could say four layers, 4 or 5 layers that you could decoupage that up and make it a more of a 3D card. You've also got some smaller hexagons at the bottom with the happy birthday and everything on, which again is that would probably go all the way across a small DL card, if you like. You've then got some toppers that again will just fit, like I say, your 4x4 cards. Well, they'd fit a 4x4 card, but they'd equally be as good on a 5x5 and 6x6, because you can pick which toppers you want. But don't forget, like I've just done on the first demo, I resized that to 175%, so it actually created it created a background for me. I could equally resize these and do exactly the same if I wanted to, and add in other things. And again, sewing, if you're into your sewing and you've got all your bits and bits, your embroidery threads and stuff, you could be stitching these onto cards as well. You could be printing them onto cotton and making toppers for your cards, like, if you like. Right, let's just go. You've also got your insert and your sentiments, and then you've got these beautiful, and these are absolutely gorgeous. They're delicious. I think is a word to say, but they are absolutely gorgeous. These backing papers are absolutely sensational, and I'll click on this one first. This, again, I'm not a scrapbooker by any means or anything, but I did see this and I thought, if I printed that off on my A3 printer and trimmed it to sort of a 12x12-ish, this would make a beautiful scrapbook page. And again, it's going to make beautiful cards, but like a beautiful scrapbook page, it could, I thought, and again, when you see the demonstration I've got lined up for this one, I thought this, to me, was very much wedding-y type feel. I mean, other people might think differently, but I've got like sort of a wedding vibe from this, and I just thought how beautiful it looked, and it sort of really stood out to me on its own. But then if I go to the next one, you can see, again, this is where I'm saying about using it as a sort of a scrapbook page. How fabulous is that? Popping your photos on, stitching your photos on almost. I mean, again, printing that onto material, making a book cover, all sorts of things you could do with that one. And then these are so beautiful. Let me just get to the A4 so you can see it all. I mean, that lovely lace, feel that's going down the side, and this lovely sort of watercolour splash. It just looks beautiful, doesn't it? And I mean, my friend's daughter's just got married abroad, and this to me is what's standing out. And then you've got your toppers, sorry, your essential papers and your decorative papers. So if I just go back, that shows you what that collection is, and that's Spectacular Stitches. Okay, and I'll just pop back over to the top. Okay, so what are we thinking of Spectacular Stitches? Elizabeth, sewing both by machine and hand is another one of my many hobbies. Oh, I love it. See, this is what's great. That's what's great about crafting, isn't it? Everybody sort of has a little go at everything. I mean, I've got to say, I'm not a sewer by any account. I mean, John Scott said he'd train me at one point because I was absolutely petrified when Hells was doing the sewing at a hobby maker. But John Scott says he'd show me, but I thought, oh, he wouldn't know what he was letting himself in for. Oh dear. Right, let's get over to the demo then, and I'll show you what I've created with this set. Okay. Right. So with this set, what I've done, and it's just to show you, I've created this card, and it's a 7x7 card again. But what I've done is I've sort of reduced the sizes, and I'm going to show you what I've reduced size. So I've, instead of going up in size, I've gone down in size on one of these decorative papers to create this sort of layered like pattern. And this is why I thought, and the colours really jumped out to me as being sort of a wedding type card. So that's why I've put on the front my sentiment, hope you have an amazing day. But let's have a look at my recipe first. Let's have a look. Right, put that to one side. Wouldn't be lovely to make a 3D frame with the elements in the, it would, Sheila, you're absolutely right. It's a really good idea. Our Sheila's so good though, you know, with the when I first met Sheila and she brought all her boxes and everything in for she does Dalton Manor as well. Oh my word, the things she can make, I'm just amazed. She's fantastic. I love her. Spectacular stitches and beautiful, quite ethereal. The printed papers are lovely. Yeah, I agree, Kim. And crocheting while I'm watching, my very talented Elizabeth. Lovely ideas, fabulous. Right, so I'll just show you the sizing. So I have just kept a bit of the solid colour paper I printed, and this is like it's sort of like a browny grey. I think it's got that kind of tinge to it, but it looks more pale if you like, so it's not as dark. So probably a really light browny grey, but it does really complement the toppers. And this is what I was saying. So that backing paper, which is A4 that we showed you, I've took that to 30% to make a small topper. I've then done it again at 40%, so that I've got my next topper, and then I've done it again at 50% to make my back topper, and then I've just printed off the sentiments, and then that's where I just picked hope your day is amazing. Okay, so let's get to the card. So with this card, again 7x7, and it's a really, when I say it's a really simple card, it is, but it's as simple as you want to make it. If you resize and print to what I've showed you, you could recreate this card in any collection. I just felt it was a really nice to have in this one. So what I'm doing first is, with my mats and layers, I'm popping a bit of white onto this. Card to stand out on the front of the grey, or the grey brown colour. But I'm just going to pop them on first in my hand so I can see that they're lining up. Okay, then I'll just pop some glue on the back. Oh, you're welcome, Sheila. You do. I was blown away. I mean, if you can go back and watch her Dalton Manor shows, they are absolutely amazing. The things that she's made are out of this world. It is really good. And I mean, the things the advice that she's given me, I'll never lose, because she's been really good with that as well. So I'm just going to pop that on the front of the card, and then just pop that down with my hand so it's free. And then what I've done is, to start with, I've just, like I said, I've done them as sort of what's the word I was going, I've done them at like the 50%, the 40% and 30%, and then I've just chopped them down and then made the border to fit, which is roughly probably an eighth of an inch round, if you like. Possibly, if I think if that's the the right term. And then all I'm doing again with this one is just popping the glue on. And then you can see I'm just giving that like a little button out, and that's just so that when I pop it onto the card, when I pop it onto the card, I've just got that little border that helps the image pop around. And that's why you've just seen, that's why I love my all-purpose glue, because when I've put it down, if it's not in the place where I want it, I can move it round. I've got wiggle time, if that's what, well, that's what they all say, don't they? Wiggle time. Just pop that one there so I can see what I did. Then I've popped this onto foam pads to start with, and then I'm just going to drop that down slightly, bring it in and drop it down slightly, and that's just giving me the topper. And then I'll bring my smaller one in, and again I've just, again with that 1/8 inch round, that's what I've done. And then you can see all I've done on this differently is I've double fired the foam, if you like, from the other side, and that's just so that when I pop it down, it balances it all out. And that you can never have too many foam pads. That's the other thing to let you know. I had this lovely little die. Again, this is why I say checking all your hardware. This is a little hunky-dory die that I had. I just found them the other day. I was looking for something. Because when I'm looking at the camera, I don't look at it half the time. I look somewhere else. So I was looking for some arrows, and I found it. And this was in one of the little kits I had for. I've had it for years, but I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue gel on the back, and then just pop that up in the corner. And I've picked some sort of some gems that I felt that matched with the buttons to go in. I'm then going to pop my little sentiment on, and I've only got like the one side on, but I've doubled it up, and then I can just pop that there. And then I just wanted to pop a little couple more gems on, and I was just going to pop them in the corner. Oops. And then and sometimes I know, like they're going 3s across and stuff. Sometimes I like to do sort of like a corner piece like that. And I don't know. And then that is my third and final demo. But don't worry, I've got some more stuff to show you. But that is what that's what we've got, and I just think that is just a stunning paper artwork. But that showed you that you can use the decorative papers to be the focal point of your card as well. So our kits are so versatile. You can make all sorts with them. So if I just show you what we've created over the show, we've done, that was the last one. The first one we did was our ship ahoy, and we'd got the mermaid that we'd cut out, and that was a really simple resizing the topper. And then our last one was our hummingbird. Prior to the one before, sorry, was our hummingbird, and we decoupaged him up, but we cut into his feathers to make him more realistic as well. Right, have we got any more questions? Let's have a little look. Brilliant, thanks Elizabeth. Oh, thanks Sheila. I'm trying. I think Linda says I'm trying anyway. Knitting too as well. Oh wow, brilliant, lovely ideas. Thanks Elizabeth, that's great. Well, we haven't quite come to the end because we have got one more thing, but I haven't got any samples to show you, because what I wanted to talk about was in the future, I'll just go back to my screen as well. We have had some other bits and pieces released over the weekend, and they come with an SVG file, or they come with like the elements to match, and it's £8.99. And it's our Summer Gatefold card volume 4. and it's got the digital backgrounds. Again, with that, even if you haven't got an SVG cutting machine, these are available separately as well, because you could use the toppers and the papers independently to the actual SVG files. But the SVG files are absolutely fantastic, and I would show you, but for some reason the computer's decided to go to sleep. But you've got like a beautiful, like I did on the last Monday, I made the leaf, the tropical leaf. There's a beautiful tropical leaf. There's the sun. There's the palm trees. There's one more as well. I can't think off the top of my head. Let's see if it does play out for me. Let's have a look. No, I don't think it's going to. Sorry, but you can buy these independently or together. They're $8.99 together, but I think the prices will be in the Boo What's New section on the website. But you know, these are really fun cards. And what I was going to say was, we have a lot of requests sometimes on how to make these, and I said to Linda, rather than doing it rather quickly in a live, what I'm going to do with the I'm going to create some videos, and I'll make them one by one, if you like. We'll do the waterfall card. We'll do the gatefold cards. We'll do more of our concept cards that we'll do. We'll create some videos to show you how to make those and how to go along with them. So the education's going to be there shortly. I mean, I've got a lot on for the next couple of weeks, but I'll try to fit some filming in. And the reason like I said before, if you missed at the beginning, we were supposed to be on the craft store today, myself and Sheila. However, circumstances beyond our control didn't allow us, so that's why we're live tonight, showing you what the weekend release was. But Linda promised you a discount, and it was capital T, capital C, capital S 11, and she's honouring that right up until the 25th, so you can use it on our website for anything. Oh, the waterfall card from Lisa is coming soon. That's fabulous. So another one of our team members, Lisa's filmed the waterfall card, so that's fantastic. There's a job ticked off the list. Thank you. Thanks, Lisa, if you're watching. Hi, Jackie. Nice to have you here. Right. So yes, we're gonna one of the discount that we were going to give on the craft store this week. So it's up until the 25th at midnight. So you get to your redeem voucher, pop the code capital T, capital C, capital S 11 into the code box, and you'll get a further 10% off your purchase today as well. So before I bid you all good night, we are going to be on the craft store next Tuesday with the wonderful Linda Chapman and myself. I'm going to be doing some demos for her, but we're also going to be we've got a special presenter, and I'm really excited about this. And I know she's already said it herself out there, so I don't think she's going to mind me saying, but we're going to get to work with Zena, and Zena was the first person I ever worked with properly, with my own first solo show on Hobby Maker. So I'm super excited to be joining Linda and Zena on next Tuesday's show. So, and what I'm going to do prior to that now is I'm just going to give you a sneak peek, because on Friday, if you join me at 7 o'clock on this Friday, I'm going to do a whisper of what's to come, so a preview of what we're going to have on that show. But I'm going to give you a little sneak peek now of what I'm going to be making on Friday's show. So let me just pop back over to the overhead camera. I'll take that one off. Just leave that there. So one of the first cards I'm going to make, and it's with I'm going to completely forget what the collections are called, but this is a bee collection in there. I did write it down somewhere and I've lost it, sorry. But join us on Friday for this. So this is the card one of the cards I'm going to create with the bees. This is beautiful. This kit is. So look forward to seeing that one. We've got our friend's card as well. Look at him. I'm going to be creating this. which I mean, this is my favourite. I mean, again, for all those that are you know, from the Black Country or a Brummie, if you like, he just reminds me of a cuddly Peaky Blinder. If there ever was a cuddly Peaky Blinder about, but yeah, he's super cute. So we're going to be making him as well, and we're going to be making one of the concept cards from the kit as well, which is our mystical one, and this is just beautiful. So these are the 3 projects we're going to be doing on Friday night. So at 7 o'clock, the same place, in the Crafty Witches Facebook page. Let's go back to in the Crafty Witches Facebook page and YouTube channel. I'll be live previewing a few of the samples that the team have sent in. We'll also be previewing the collections, and we'll also be doing the 3 demos as well to show you what you can create with those collections. That will be on the craft store on Tuesday the 27th with Linda, myself and the fabulous Zena. Have we got any other questions? Floral friends? Oh yeah, thank you. The bear is so cute. He's super cute. Love bees, and me, I love the bees as well. Mystical Grove, thank you. See, that's what the Crafty Witches are there to look after me. Growing happy, and the bees one is growing happy beeness. That is, they're 3 fabulous collections, 3 magical collections, and now we'll preview those on Friday night. And you'll get to see what some of the team have created as well. I've selected a few cards to show already, because it was the show that was prepared for Friday night last gone, but obviously circumstances changed. But thank you all this evening for joining me. Don't forget as well, there's one more thing. There is always, if you haven't signed up to our newsletter, go over to the website, scroll right to the bottom, add in a valid email address and sign up to our newsletter, because that's where you get to find out all the gossip, what's coming up and what's new at the Crafty Witches and what's coming live from the cauldron. So it's really a super cool way of keeping in touch. So join us there, and join us this Friday night, 7 p.m. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. I've loved doing it for you all, and hopefully you'll join me again on Friday. I'll see you all then. Have a good evening. Bye.